Now to some news over the weekend, and we saw on Saturday Adrian Lewis posting on Twitter that he's taking a break from the tour. He posted on Twitter, "Dear all, in particular my fans, I feel that your loyalty deserves an explanation for my absence from tournaments. After 20 plus years, I feel I need a break from the professional circuit now." So what was your reaction to the news?
I mean, obviously there was something going on. We can't pretend. I mean, we didn't know why he had skipped the previous weekend, but we knew something was going on when he didn't enter. In fact, actually, it's the last 2 weekends now. And I don't really know what to say. You know, we haven't seen much of Adrian Lewis this year. He's only played the first 6. He's only won 2 matches. Granted, he averaged over a ton against Luke Woodhouse, who's been one of the breakout players so far this year, and then averaged over a ton in losing to Raymond van Barneveld. So, he played well at the 4th Players' Championship event, but that's the only time we've seen him get out of the first round. We've seen him lose to some people who've been struggling this year. Richie Edhouse has been struggling. Mervyn King has been struggling. He lost in the first round, not playing very well to either of them, losing in 8 legs to Edhouse, losing 6 legs to 3 to Mervyn King. I think that was Mervyn King's first win in a Players' Championship event this year. There's been something going on with his game. Last year was certainly a bounce back year. He got back into the television events. It looked like for a while, it looked like he might move back into the top 32. He was provisionally there at times, but he didn't manage to crack it. But at the start of this year, it just wasn't hitting. And I don't know what's going on with Adrian Lewis. Only Adrian Lewis knows what's going on with Adrian Lewis. On his day, he's one of the best players in the world, but his day has become much more infrequent with passing time. And so far this year, we haven't seen it. And 20 years, as he said, is a long time. I think he's being honest. That is a long time to be at the top of the game. For most of that, he was at the top of the game. From about 2006 to 2018, he was one of the top players every year. He won 2 world titles. He made it to number 2 in the world. He made it within a fraction of catching Phil Taylor for world number 1. Before the 2013 World Championships. If he had done well at the Players' Championship finals heading into the 2014 World Championship, into the 2013 World Championships, he could have become world number 1. But he, maintaining that level for so long is difficult. And at some point, the losses and the travel and the stress gets to everyone. It could be getting to James Wade this year. Wade's been out there for nearly as long, and now James Wade is threatening to drop out of the top 16 for the first time since the World Match Play in 2006. So it's tough to maintain this level, and a break might just be what he needs. But at the same time, what will a break mean to his career? As things currently stand, he is not even in the same stratosphere as the people contending for the World Championships. He's not anywhere near getting into the back into the top 32. He's 7,000 pounds nearly behind the last person in the World Championship spots. If he's going to take some time off, it's going to be difficult for him to make that up. Granted, he could go and win a title. He can go and win a couple. But maybe he just doesn't care. Maybe he just needs some time off. Maybe he'll come back in August rejuvenated. Maybe he takes the entire year off. Maybe he never comes back. That's something that I'm sure he's going through in his mind. What does he want to accomplish? Does he still have things left to accomplish in this game? Does he still want to deal with the stress? Only Adrian Lewis knows those answers, if anyone does. And if he's taking a break, maybe he doesn't know those answers. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. We'll find out more as time goes on. If we see him come back and we see him performing like he was last year, like he was 5-6 years ago when he was at his best, then we know that maybe he just needed to clear his mind. If he takes a little bit longer, then maybe we'll have to ask some other questions. If he comes back and nothing's changed, then the questions will shift. And they'll go back to what we were asking a few years ago when we wondered whether Adrian Lewis would ever be back to his best. I think, only Adrian Lewis can know, if anyone knows, what the purpose of this break is. And hopefully, while he's taking that break, he'll figure out the answers if he doesn't already.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And I've got to say, when the news came out, it was surprising. But as you say, he has been away from the tour for a little while already. We've not seen Adrian Lewis play since the third Pro Tour weekend, Players Championship 5 and 6, and that was back on March the 11th, March the 12th, around that time. And so we've not seen him in the last two Players Championship weekends. He withdrew from the Euro Tour event that he qualified for, the third one. So already he's had over a month off, and we don't want to speculate on the reason behind it. I think every player, they deserve that privacy. If it does involve a private matter why he is taking time away from the game, we don't know. And we don't know how long this break is going to be for him, whether it's going to be for a few months and he comes back after the summer, or, as you say, he takes the rest of the year off and comes back next year. I mean, these are the questions that we don't know the answer to. We know that Adrian Lewis, he's not going to have to worry about his tour card for next year. That's guaranteed, but that's probably at the moment the least of his concerns. And I think the important thing is for Adrian Lewis to take as much time as he needs so that when or if he feels ready to come back and compete again, that he can. And it would be a shame for darts if this was to be the end of Adrian Lewis's career, because what a career it's been. It's been one of the best that we've seen in the PDC. He's a back-to-back world champion. He's won multiple majors, the 9 darters on TV. There's been a lot of success in there, and he is still one of the most popular players in the game. I think if you asked any darts fan, probably more casual fans that follow the game, and you ask them to mention darts players, a lot of them will still mention Adrian Lewis, and that's someone that's not been at the top level of the game for a few years now, but the name, the star power, that is still there, even though he has had that lean period now for a little while. And that just shows you what he achieved during his pomp, because he still attracts that attention from a lot of darts fans. And yeah, I think the news, it was surprising, but as I say, he has been away from the tour for a month or so now, so questions were probably being asked, and I think it's good that Adrian has come out and said, this is what's happening. I'm having a break away from the game, and it probably stops people asking him what's going on, because I'm sure there have been a lot of people getting in touch with him, a lot of his fans wanting to know why he's not playing in the events, and now he has come out and said that he is taking this time away, and we'll see if he does come back. You know, there's going to be a lot of downtime for him now to think about where he wants to go with his career, because as he said in a lot of interviews recently and in the past, while he's been around that top 32, just out the top 32, he's always come out and said, I can get back to where I was before. I can get back, not just the top 16, top 8, top 4, challenging for titles, challenging for world championships. Well, that's something that we've not seen materialise over the last few years. And now there's this period now for Adrian, while he is away from competition, to think, can I do that? What is the hunger? What is the goals I want to achieve in this game? And do I really want to get back into it? Because 20 years in any sport is a long time. And to have that success and want to come back and rebuild your career, it's going to take a lot to do, I think.